Are you new to WordPress development? And are you wondering which development tool to use? This video is for you. Let's go to WordPress. What are the requirements for you to make or develop a WordPress? If you go to the About WordPress page, you find the requirement that you need to develop a WordPress website. To run a WordPress, we recommend your host to support the following: PHP version 7.4 or greater, MySQL version 5.7 or greater, or MariaDB version 10.3 or greater, and it must support HTTPS. That's really it. Those are the basic requirements. But you need what we refer to as a web server. And they recommend Apache or Nginx web server. In other words, the files you get from downloading the WordPress, you have to put them in a web server. And in that web server can be either Apache or Nginx. And that web server must have a PHP, which is 7.4, and must have MySQL version 5.5. That is the database, or must have a MariaDB version 10.3 or higher. In this case, you need a development environment for WordPress. And one development environment for WordPress is what we refer to as a local WP WordPress development tools. It combines all these tools, all these requirements for WordPress, and make it easier for you to develop a WordPress. It is user-friendly, although there are other WordPress development tools. This one is very friendly and easy to use if you are starting, or if you are a beginner, or even you are an experienced developer to develop a WordPress website. Hello everyone and welcome. In this video, we're gonna look at local WordPress development tool. If you are a WordPress developer, you probably need to work in a test environment. That way, you can tinker with your WordPress files all you want without breaking your code. You need to choose a local WordPress development tools to fit your needs. Choosing the best development tool can be complicated because there are a lot of options available in the market. In this video, I'm gonna introduce to you the number one local WordPress development tools known as Local. Local WP is an effortless way to develop WordPress site locally in a test environment. Before you move your website to the production environment, you want to test your WordPress, you can use this to test your WordPress. The alternative for this is the WAMP, which you can install in your local machine. And if you want to know how to install XAMPP or WAMP in your machine, please watch this video here. So this is the website for a local WP. And you can see here some of the features is that it empowers developers with advanced workflow features. You have automatic WordPress installations, live links, advanced development features, one-click admin, local connect, a correction of pre-launch tools, magic syncs, and also cloud backups. So it has a lot of features, and you can see so many comments from the community. And if you want to develop a WordPress website locally, or you are starting, you can actually use these tools to develop your WordPress website locally. Let's go to the WordPress. In a WordPress, there are certain requirements, both the system and the hardware, that you are required to have before you install your WordPress. So if you go to the WordPress website and then you go to the About WordPress, and if you go to the requirements, you see here, these are the requirements. If you want to install the WordPress, you must have a PHP, which must be 7.4 or higher. You must have the database, MySQL, a version 5.7 or higher, or MariaDB version 10 or greater, and you must have a HTTPS support. There is also a recommendation that you must have a server. So they recommend you must have Apache or GINS as the most robust and featureful server for running WordPress. So you can choose one of these. So the local WordPress development tools contain all these features in ones that enables you to install the WordPress. So the alternative, XAMPP, contain the same. And I have told you, if you want to know how to install the WordPress in XAMPP, you can actually watch this video here. So here, the XAMPP, it contains Apache, it has the database MariaDB, it has the PHP, and it also has MySQL for both for Windows, Mac OS, and Linux OS. So this is an alternative. That is the number one local WordPress development tool that you can install in your machine to install your WordPress, to test your WordPress. So let me take you through step by step how to download and install local WordPress development tools, local WP. So you go to localwp.com, localwp.com, and then you can actually create an account. You can actually create an account. Go ahead if you want to create an account here, and you sign in. Then you go to download, and you can see here that it's an open source software. It is free and always will be. It is free and it will always be. Then choose your platform. You may have a Mac computer, a Windows computer, or a Linux Debian-based computer, Ubuntu, etc., etc. So go ahead and choose your platform. Once you choose your platform, fill in your details. And then you say, get it now. So the local WP we download. So once it downloads, you go ahead and go to your download page and install your local WP. Go ahead and install. So, and here to ask you, please select whether you wish to make this software available to all users or just yourself, based with the number of people who use for the computer. So for this case, I will say anyone who uses these computers, then go and say install. As you can see, also the installation setup is trying to install other dependable programs. So there we are. It has already installed and we want to run it. So you say finish and also run the local WP. So we have updated the local terms of service. So you go ahead and say you agree with the terms. You can go ahead and read the terms. So you can turn on error reporting. So this is important so that if you have any issue with your local WP, you can be able to see it. Usage reporting is also important, but it also depends. You can turn on or don't turn on. And there you are. And you can actually create a free account. If you want to create a free account, you can just click create and it will actually direct you to the website and you can be able to create the account. You can create the account for you. So the same account we are creating here, it will create an account for you. But we want to go ahead and now develop our website. When you open your local WP to create a new website, to install a new WordPress, so now this is what we refer to as local WordPress development tool, the local WP. So to create a new website or to install a new WordPress, you click the plus sign and then it will give you option to choose from. The other way you can get this is to click this bar lines here and this you say add a new site. When you click add a new site, it will give you three options. Option number one is to create a new website from the scratch. And this option is the one we are going to create. Option number two is create from a blueprint. This is creating from an already existing blueprint which has pre-installed elements like plugins and themes. The other option is maybe you have already installed the WordPress somewhere and you want to bring it in your local WP development. You can browse it and install it here. So we are going to use the first one, which is create a new site. Once you select this one, you say continue. Once you come here, you give your site the title. That is the title of your website. And then you give your website local site domain. Remember, you are developing this locally. You're developing this locally. So, and you are going to test it locally in your browser. So this can be a local site domain and you can give it any .name, for example, .local, .net, any type you want to call it, but you can leave it as default. And here you have to look to set your local site path where your WordPress file are going to be installed. So in this case, I'm going to change the default, and then maybe browse and create a new folder in my PC. Let's create one here and call it WordPress. So this is where we are going to install our file. So our file will be going to be installed there. Then you say continue. So here you choose your environment. Remember we discussed this about the web server. The web server. A web server is basically a computer where the web content is stored. All the web content is going to be installed in a web server. And in this case, the local WP is giving you two options, whether you can have Apache or Nginx. So the preferred, here they have PHP 8.1.9, the web server Nginx, and the MySQL version 8.0.16. Remember the requirement for installing the WordPress requirements, the PHP requirements 7.4 and higher. In the custom, you can customize your installation, the PHP version you want. Remember, you must have 7.4 and above for WordPress version, the current version, which is 6 point something, so 6.4. Then web server, you can choose either Apache or Nginx. You can either use Apache or Nginx. The difference between the two is how they handle the client request. Apache is a process-driven, creating a thread per each request. On the other hand, Nginx is designed to handle multiple client requests simultaneously with minimal hardware resource. Thus, Nginx generally has better performance compared to Apache. But again, if you are not installing a very complicated WordPress, you can choose any of the website. So we are going to try each of the environment. So we are going to start with the preferred. We install the website in this preferred environment, and then also we are going to use customer. So you choose the preferred, and then you say continue. So here you give your website the administration website username and password. So here I'm just giving it admin. Remember, this is a test environment. So if it is a running environment, you have to give it a very strong username and password. Of course, because of security purposes. And here that you have an option to install a WordPress multi-site. A multi-site type of a WordPress installation allows you to create and manage a network of multiple websites from a single WordPress dashboard. In this case, we are not creating multiple websites, so this means be no. After you have done that, you say add site. So it is going to install all those settings we have created. The Nginx, the PHP, the MySQL. Make sure that you allow all those pop up. Installing and downloading the WordPress. And there you go. We have successfully installed our site. So you can see the overview of the site, the database, and you can open your site. Let's go ahead and open our site, and there you go. You have successfully installed the site, and then you can even access the WP admin, the admin page. Let's log in and see. There you go. This is the back side of the website. You can see here the theme is 2023 theme. There you go. And you can actually go ahead and start developing your site in your local computer. So this is a local WP development. Let's look at the database. The database, to connect the database, you're using the open admin. Let's check it. There you have the database. And this one is a more improved version of PHP my admin. It's a more version of improved PHP my admin. So you can see here, it's a database management system in a single PHP file. So it was formerly known as PHP min admin. It's a full-featured database management tool written in PHP, converted to PHP my admin. So this one is more improvement of PHP my admin. It consists of a single file ready to deploy to the target server. The good thing about this one is about security. Yeah, security is number one priority in development of admin. Admin does not allow connecting to the database without a password. Like in a case of PHP my admin, sometimes you may not require to enter a password when you are developing your application. So that is it. You have installed your WordPress and you can go and start now developing. So let us try another option to install our site. Remember the previous one we installed using the Nginx server. If I'm not wrong, if you go to the overview here, server Nginx, MySQL, let us try to install another one with a different server maybe. Create a new site, spin up the WordPress. So we continue. We'll give it a name. There you go, business local. So the local site path is where you want your website to be. You can create a new one or maybe leave it at this. So here we are going to do customize, and for PHP version we use the latest one. Let's use this one. For the web server now use Apache, database MySQL, the latest one. Let's use this one, and then you say continue. You give the database name. You give it the email. So remember what we said about this, the username and the password. We are doing it in a local development. If you're doing it in a development environment or running environment, you have to make sure that you have a strong username and password for security purposes. And then you add the site. So it is actually downloading the components that we have actually chosen. My internet is slow, you have to bear with me, but this will finish in no time. So as you can see, it's still installing all the components that you have selected. It's now starting up site services. You now install the WordPress. Add in WordPress. Hoping we will not get any error. Install in WordPress. And there you go. We have successfully installed our website. You can open the site. There you go. It has been opened. You can open the admin. There you go. There you go. And now, there you go. You can start now developing your website. You can even come here and enter WP admin the way you do it in other development environment and be able to access your website. And the good thing is this also is you can add as many websites as you want. So go ahead and create as many sites and enjoy a new way to create a local development for WordPress. So you can go ahead and try all the others and see how it goes. So this one for now. And if you have any question, please post in the comment section and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.